Alright people, Mike Salden here again. Welcome back to another video. So the Fallout series, the TV show on Amazon's come out. It's really good and it's really inspired me to go back to Fallout 4 to have a quick session on it. There is a next gen upgrade coming out for PS5, but I kind of just wanted to jump into this old save on PS4 and just see what happens really. And to talk about the show a little bit as well. Don't want to spoil anything because it just came out, and it doesn't really follow the plot of any of the games. It's got all its own original characters, and it's doing its own sort of take on the world, just using the universe as a setting. And I always prefer it when adaptations, these video game like live action versions, I prefer it when they do tell their own story rather than taking characters and stories that we already saw in a video game, and most of the time just doing it slightly worse than the game itself did it. It's always far better if like you can get another original story from like an extra video game adaptation or whatever. I wouldn't even call the Fallout show an adaptation because again it's not really taking any of the plot lines from the games and just doing it one for one. It's got its own characters. It's got the Ghoul who's played by Walton Goggins. He's really badass, really cool original character. I think a lot of people are going to want to play as a Ghoul in Fallout 5 or whatever. They should probably have that option by now to select if you want to just be a human, play as a Ghoul. Maybe even play as a super mutant as a new class and have different selectable races or something like that. Because yeah, I think a lot of people after watching the show they're gonna want to play as they're gonna want to role play as the Ghoul, Walton Goggins character. You've also got Lucy, who's the sort of classic vault dweller. She's like the main protagonist really. Starts off life in a vault, very sheltered, has no idea what the wasteland is like or anything, and slowly becomes hardened throughout the TV show. She gets exposed to more and more crazy stuff that goes on in the wasteland, and of course she encounters the Ghoul, Walton Goggins character, and he plays a big role in hardening Lucy. And yeah, it was really interesting watching her journey and transformation. And then you had Maximus. He's a Brotherhood of Steel initiate. He thinks he should be promoted to being a scribe, is it? Or no, it's a squire. And that he should be out in the field with the Brotherhood Knights in their power armor doing some missions and stuff. He kind of gets passed over for promotion, but fortunately for him, something happens to one of the other initiates or whatever, and they can no longer serve that purpose of being a squire, and Maximus, he gets promoted into doing the job instead. And yeah, he's sort of our Brotherhood of Steel character. So I thought it was really interesting they had like these three characters whose storylines intersect in the show. They kind of represent three different play styles players of the Fallout game would have. Like the Vault Dweller, the Goody Two Shoes, who's just going out there trying to talk her way through things, trying to talk down the enemy, doesn't really want to like kill anybody. For a lot of the time, Lucy's using actually like a tranquilizer gun. I don't think we've seen those in any Fallout games, but yeah, being non-lethal and trying to sneak past people or talk your way out of things, that's like a valid play style in a lot of the games. So Lucy kind of represents that classic play style, and then Walton Goggins, his Ghoul character, sort of represents like the lone wanderer, sort of badass bounty hunter. Kind of vicious, kind of cruel. He has a code and a sort of way of doing things, but he's really not opposed to just like shooting whoever gets in his way and being sort of like a mercenary and kind of like really badass character. Also, he acquires the TV show's version of Dogmeat pretty quickly, and again that sort of suits his lone wanderer vibe of just going around in his big trench coat, cowboy hat, and Winchester rifle I think he has, or the cowboy repeater I think people would call it, from New Vegas, and just wandering around with the equivalent of Dogmeat, trying to bring in these bounties and stuff. And then Maximus, he represents anybody who like just wants to join like the Brotherhood of Steel and get some power armor and start messing around with power armor. And you sometimes you don't really believe in the Brotherhood's code and all the things they're trying to achieve. You sort of just want to get the power armor. And I thought it was pretty funny that that's what his character kind of represents. He's not all that into the Brotherhood. He doesn't really have a like extremely strong allegiance to them. He kind of just wanted to join, get his power armor, and be able to like get revenge for what happened to his settlement, because it shows you in flashbacks that Maximus, he was just like a little kid, and his settlement was attacked. And I think for a long time he believes the Brotherhood maybe was responsible, because when he steps out of the hiding place he was in, the first thing he sees is like a Brotherhood knight wandering around in the ruins. So it was really interesting following Maximus, and I really liked that he was kind of a funny character who doesn't really believe in the Brotherhood, and he kind of just wanted the armor, which so many players, they just find the Brotherhood in each game, join them as quickly as possible and get their power armor, and then just go around doing crazy stuff after that, not really listening to the Brotherhood's advice and their way of life and how they're supposed to be can't even pronounce that word, isolationist, which means they don't want anybody else joining them really, and they want to be their own sort of faction and be isolated from the rest of the wasteland. And they're kind of assholes, to be honest. The Brotherhood of Steel, they look badass, but they're not interested in helping people all that much. They just want to eradicate super mutants and other abominations, as they call them, and acquire old technology and weapons. But now that I'm insulting Brotherhood of Steel members by saying they don't really care about wastelanders and stuff, this part where I'm attacking this super mutant outpost or base or whatever, I actually get into trouble here. It's pretty funny. I'm sort of outgunned and outmatched, and like a legendary super mutant showed up, and a whole like a boss super mutant in here called Hammer, I think his name is. They all start charging in towards me here when I was trying to take over this place. Yeah, Hammer, and then there's a legendary super mutant behind him, and I was just gonna get destroyed. So I quickly, and he had a big missile launcher too, so I ran in here to get some cover. I was completely surrounded. I thought I was gonna like get completely destroyed here, but then in the background I heard some vertibirds in the air, and I was like, oh thank God, the Brotherhood. So just as I was about to get my ass kicked, the Brotherhood actually did show up. And while they weren't here to save me necessarily, they probably had just planned to take out these super mutants the entire time. I thought this highlighted one of the better parts of Fallout 4, which is just like the emergent gameplay scenarios that can occur, where different factions fight each other and you just happen to be in the middle of it. So yeah, there's some Brotherhood out there now with the flashlights. They're coming in with their laser weapons. This guy had a missile launcher and he was completely messing me up. Like I was so nearly dead here. So I was just injecting myself with stim packs, drinking vodka, mixing it with some Psycho, and trying to get any extra damage that I could. This Hammer enemy was a lot more tough than I was expecting, really. I don't know what difficulty I'm playing on, but I think I might have put it up a little higher than usual, maybe. I am level 29, and these guys shouldn't really be a problem at this point. Like, guess I don't have the best upgraded weapons or anything like that. I'm not using any legendary weapons or anything. It's just like a standard shotgun or whatever. Yeah, I've got automatic pistols. These revolvers. I think I swapped to this revolver that I called Ethel for some reason, or maybe it was always called that and I just found it. But yeah, this hammer guy, he was running in with his big sledge. He was going to do some serious damage, so I thought I'd better get some VATS headshots on him, try to put him down a little. But he just kept charging in. Oh, and it's also got a flamethrower attached to it, so that's great. Yeah, I was just trying to get headshots on him. I don't know how I missed one at that distance. The Brotherhood were busy taking out the rest of them, so I was kind of on my own with this guy. Yeah, again, just down in purified water, and just looking for anything that would help me out. Get another stim pack, just in case. And I think I just about managed to get this guy down because I unlocked a critical hit chance, and I could execute that on him. And just when I was like backed into this corner, I managed to put him down. So yeah, he had the missile launcher and the super sledge. I don't think I can carry the super sledge right now because I'd be over encumbered, so I just left it there. And there was this other super mutant that survived in here. So yeah, I would just take pot shots at him. And I think you can see like the vertebrates still out there. Yeah, it's out there, drop it down, soldiers. So yeah, I was really lucky the Brotherhood showed up and took out most of these guys for me. I thought it was a pretty cool moment. And it kind of goes for what I'm saying is like the best moments in Fallout 4. Or, oh, nearly blew myself up with a missile. There's more Brotherhood knights being dropped in. But yeah, the best moments are just when you're out in the world and these chaotic battles just come out of nowhere. Yeah, I needed to use VATS to get a missile on this guy properly. There we go, that's him down. And I think that was the last of the super mutants. And yeah, the vertebrates pulling out. And again, that was just a really cool moment that this happened. And here come the Brotherhood Knights just wandered in now, like they own the place. I was trying to talk to them and be like, hey, good job, people. He's just like, back off, civilian. And here's one of the scribes, or a knight sergeant actually. I was just like, excuse me. And he's like, if you ain't the Brotherhood, you ain't nothing. And I was like, hey, I just helped you kill all these mutants, and I killed the leader for you. Can I have some appreciation? So again, it's kind of back to what I was saying. The Brotherhood, they're kind of assholes to anybody who isn't in the Brotherhood. And like they will help you fight mutants if it's in their interest to do it. Like they came here probably to steal some technology or whatever. I don't think the super mutants have much, but they always enjoy taking out abominations and super mutants as they call them. So I think they had a good time helping me out here. And Curie, I don't know if she was knocked out or was fighting in this battle at all, but she kind of disappeared. Had to drop the missile launcher because I was over encumbered. I'll come back for that later. I think I already have like 5 missile launchers, but you can always do with another one. And one of the Brotherhood Knights, they got put down. I'll come back for their armor later, I think, and the minigun. I didn't want to rob him while all the other knights were around here in case they like did anything. I don't think they care if you like loot their enemy soldiers, but I've been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate 3 recently. It was in my head that if you touch like friendly characters who died, like the other NPCs are going to be like, what do you think you're doing? You're robbing our dead friend? And it kind of makes a lot of sense that characters in Baldur's Gate do that. And I think maybe in the future Bethesda should implement something like that. Like if a Brotherhood of Steel character sees you trying to rob another Brotherhood of Steel character, he's going to be like, yeah, that stuff belongs to us. What do you think you're doing, mate? And that would be pretty funny. So yeah, this super mutant little base or whatever, it's probably got a lot of good stuff to steal. I didn't really have time to like check up on everything here, but it was really fun that I just jumped on for an hour to play some Fallout 4 and got lost in this little like immersive story that I created myself, where I got attacked by a Deathclaw, and then wandered along to a super mutant village and was kind of trapped by them in a house. Their leader was coming for me, and then the Brotherhood showed up and took out the rest of them. And it was just a really great moment. And this game actually does hold up pretty well, to be honest. I know a lot of people have turned against Bethesda these days. As I said previously, I'm not going to defend the writing or the RPG elements in this game, but from a sort of survival crafting and just exploration kind of lens, this game is really fun. Oh yeah, I have a cabinet with all my Grog Knight comics in it. I forgot about that. This is my main base at Sanctuary Hills. It's probably the most boring place that you can set up your main base, as it's like the first one you encounter. But I always just like using it, and I've got like 5 suits of power armor over here that I've collected. I've put some posters on the walls. I've got this Vault-Tec statue out here. Oh, and some bears have shown up to attack us. Nice. The Yao ghouls, or whatever you call them, the mutant bears. So Dogmeat was out here getting in some hits on them. My turrets, one of them stopped firing, but the other ones try and help me out. And at least these were 2 stunted bears, or whatever you would call them. So we're gonna cook up their meat after this. Go on, Sturges! I don't know why you're dressed like that. I gave you all random clothes. It's pretty funny, but oh well. And so again, this again is one of the like emergent things I'm talking about, where you never know what's gonna show up at your base and just be attacking you. Sometimes raiders can show up, sometimes feral ghouls, or the Brotherhood of Steel wandered through one day before, which was pretty random. They weren't attacking me, they just sort of wandered through. But yeah, Fallout TV show, pretty great. Fallout 4, it's a lot of fun actually, despite many complaints that you could put against it. And I'm actually really looking forward to the update for PS5 now. See how much better loading times and stuff are. Hopefully Todd knows what he's doing and he's going to make a really good update. So yeah, thanks for watching people, and I'll see you again next time with another video.